Ever hit play on like a million songs and wonder how it's all right there at your fingertips? Or check your bank account from, well, anywhere. Cloud services, they're everywhere.
Invisible but powerful, right?
Totally. And it's not just us. Businesses are going all in on cloud services. So today we're doing a deep dive into why that is. We'll break down what they are, why everyone's using them, and how they actually work.
Sounds like a plan. Ready to jump in.
Absolutely. Our research points to some major perks for businesses using the cloud. Scalability, cost savings, speed, and more focus on what they do best. Let's start with scalability. What's the big deal with that?
Okay, so picture this. A business suddenly needs way more computing power, like 10 times more in the past. Total chaos. But with cloud services, they can scale up instantly. Then, just as easily, scale back down when they don't need it anymore. That kind of flexibility, that's gold.
So it's about having the resources you need right when you need them.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads us to the next point, cost savings. Our materials highlighted that as a major advantage. How so?
Think about a new company just starting out. Before cloud services, they'd have to shell out a ton of money up front for their own IT setup. Servers, software licenses, the whole 9 yards. But with the cloud, it's like renting those resources. They only pay for what they actually use.
Yeah, makes sense. And that frees up their budget for other things, like actually running their business.
Yeah.
But it's not just about saving money, right? Our research also found that cloud services can help businesses move faster.
Oh, absolutely. Take deploying new software, for example.
Yeah.
Used to be a slow and painful process, weeks, even months sometimes. Cloud services change all that. They help businesses launch new products and react to changes in the market much faster.
Agility. Got to have it in today's world.
Exactly.
Our last big takeaway, cloud services help businesses focus on their core operations. How does that work?
It's all about shifting resources. Instead of having your IT team bogged down with managing infrastructure, they can hand those tasks off to a cloud provider.
Makes sense.
Frees them up to focus on the bigger picture, developing new products, making customers happy, things that really move the needle.
So it's about working smarter, not harder. I like it. Okay, we've covered the why cloud services are pretty great, but how do they actually work? We keep seeing these things called cloud service models in our research. IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, feels a little like alphabet soup to me.
Right. Those acronyms can be a bit much, but honestly, they're pretty easy to understand once you break them down. Imagine you're baking a cake.
Okay, I'm listening. I like where this is going.
So IaaS, or infrastructure as a service, it's like buying all the ingredients, your oven, your mixing bowls, everything. You're in control, but you handle everything from setup to baking to cleanup.
Gotcha, so you're responsible for everything.
Exactly. Now picture this. You walk into a bakery, the oven's preheated, bowls are out, basic ingredients are ready to go. That's PaaS, or platform as a service.
Okay, so less prep work, more focusing on the actual cake.
You got it. The cloud provider takes care of the basic setup, the operating systems, databases, all those tools you need to build and run applications. You just focus on the creative part, the actual software development.
So SaaS has to be the easiest option then, right? Like ordering the cake online and having it delivered.
Exactly. SaaS, or software as a service, is like enjoying a cake that someone else baked and decorated. Think Gmail, Spotify, all those apps you use every day. Someone else handles all the behind-the-scenes stuff, so you don't have to.
Convenient. But that brings up another question. With IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, how does a business know which cloud service model is right for them?
Good question. It depends on a few things. How tech-savvy are they? How much control do they want? And, of course, what's their budget like? IaaS gives you the most control but requires more technical know-how. PaaS is a nice balance. And SaaS. It's perfect if you just want something that works right out of the box. No fuss, no muss.
Find what works for you. So yeah, finding the right fit is key. But once you know what you need, who do you actually trust with your data? Because not all cloud providers are the same, are they?
Not at all. Choosing the right provider is a big deal. It's like almost like choosing a business partner, you know? You want someone reliable, someone who's serious about security, and someone who gets what you're trying to achieve.
Makes sense. We saw a few big names pop up in our research. AWS, Google Cloud, OpenShift. They seem to be everywhere these days.
Yeah, they're definitely major players.
Yeah.
Each one has its own strengths. Well, AWS, or Amazon Web Services, they were some of the first in the game, and they're still a huge player. They offer a massive range of services. Basically, you can find anything you need, from basic computing power and storage to like super advanced stuff like machine learning and AI tools.
So they're like the one-stop shop for cloud computing.
Pretty much. And then you've got Google Cloud. They're all about innovation.
They're known for data, right?
Exactly. Google Cloud Platform, or GCP, it builds on all of Google's expertise in data analytics and machine learning.
Okay, so if data is your thing, they're the go-to.
Definitely worth a look. A great example is their BigQuery service. Imagine a giant data warehouse where you can analyze massive amounts of information crazy fast. That's BigQuery. Companies like Spotify use it to see what users are listening to, which helps them create those personalized playlists everyone loves.
Smart. Okay, what about OpenShift? What makes them different?
So OpenShift is developed by Red Hat, and they're all about open source. That means it's built on shared code and collaboration, gives businesses a lot of flexibility and control over their cloud setup.
I see, so more hands-on.
In a way, they're really strong with something called containerized applications, which are like, think of them as neat little packages of software that are easy to move around and scale.
Okay, so they're about being flexible and having options. Gotcha. But let's talk security for a sec. That's a big one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, giving all our data to someone else can feel a little, well, risky.
For sure. Security is a huge deal, and all the reputable cloud providers know that. They pour tons of resources into making sure their systems are secure and your data is protected.
Our research mentioned data encryption, access control, and constant security updates. What does that actually look like in practice?
Right. So imagine you're sending a super confidential document online. Encryption is like putting that document in a lockbox that only the intended recipient can open. Access control is like having a security guard at the door, making sure only the right people can even get close to your data. And the security updates, those are like, think of it as constantly updating your security system, patching any weaknesses, and always staying one step ahead of the bad guys.
Layers upon layers of protection. Got it.
Sure.
But it's not all on the cloud provider, right? We have to do our part too.
Exactly. It's a two-way street. They handle securing the foundation, but businesses need to be smart too.
Like what? What are some things businesses should be doing?
The basics are still important. Strong passwords, multi-factor authentication, those are a must. It's also crucial to do regular security checks, like a sweep of your systems, making sure there are no vulnerabilities. And of course, having clear security policies and making sure your employees know how to stay safe online, that's huge.
So a good mix of the right tech and smart habits. Okay, this has been incredibly helpful. We've covered a lot of ground here, from the why to the what, and even a bit about who's who in the cloud world. But before we wrap up, I'm curious, what's next for cloud services? What does the future hold? We covered a lot of ground, but technology waits for no one, right? What's on the horizon for cloud services? What's got you excited?
What's fascinating is we're moving beyond just bigger and faster. The future of cloud computing is about being smarter and more integrated. We're already seeing trends like edge computing, where data processing happens closer to the user, leading to even faster response times and smoother experiences.
So less lag, more instant gratification. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
What else?
Serverless computing is another game changer. It takes the abstraction of infrastructure management to a whole new level. Imagine being able to build and run applications without even having to think about servers.
Wow, it's like the cloud is becoming even more invisible, doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes, so businesses can focus on what they do best. But this rapid evolution must come with some challenges too, right?
Absolutely. As we become more reliant on cloud services, questions around data privacy and security become even more critical. How do we ensure data is handled responsibly? How do we build trust in a world where data is constantly flowing across borders? These are questions we need to be thinking about.
Important considerations for sure. So to our listeners, as we wrap up this deep dive into cloud services, we leave you with this. How do you see cloud computing shaping your life in the years to come? What excites you? What concerns you? It's been a fascinating journey exploring the world of cloud services. We've demystified the jargon, explored the incredible benefits, and even peeked into the exciting and sometimes uncertain future of this ever-evolving technology. We hope you've gained a new appreciation for the invisible force that powers so much of our digital world. And hey, the next time you're streaming your favorite show, just remember, there's a whole lot of cloud power working behind the scenes to make that seamless experience happen. Until next time, happy learning.